Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of 4.0 and Below, where we love our creases to pieces. I'm WB Kelso, and today we got another comic run that we pulled from the archives to try to help you with your Halloween hangover and maybe fight off the usual seasonal affective disorder blues. And today we're going to look at Chamber of Darkness, one of two horror anthology series that Marvel tried. They sort of tried and died to compete with DC's recently revamped House of Secrets and House of Mystery, obviously, who kind of got revamped in the late 60s after going the superhero road. I think it was Dial H for Heroes there for a while. And but no, then they went full horror anthology too. So beginning in 1969, Marvel launched Chamber of Darkness. Unfortunately, it did not last very long. It was hosted by a character named Headstone P. Gravely. I always thought that kind of sounded like I.P. Freely, and I always thought Digger from Tower of Shadows was sort of a cooler character all the time. The book was, I think it started out monthly, but it quickly went to bi-monthly, and the sales just weren't there, which is too bad. That's issue number 1. And we go to issue number 2. Which is, there was a lot of talent in here. Roy Thomas did a lot of the writing, and Denny O'Neil too, doing some pretty loose adaptations of like Edgar Allan Poe and H.P. Lovecraft. And there was a lot of good art. John Buscema did a lot of art. Tom Palmer, rare time. He's a good inker, and he did some artwork in this too. That was pretty good. That's a Buscema cover there, obviously. And I know in one of these. That's issue 3. And this is issue number 4. I can't remember if it was issue number 4 or issue number 5 where Jack Kirby actually wrote an original story and illustrated it, which is kind of one of the last things he did before he bailed on Marvel, and or Marvel ran him off, and he went to DC. Because number 5 here, that's obviously a Kirby cover. Fantastic stuff. Reminds me of the 4D Man. Who remembers that movie? Okay, and then also, let's see, Chamber Door. This is number 6. Ooh. Watch me die twice. Love it. Plus more macabre tales to blast your brain. How awesome is that? Okay, and then with issue number 7. I believe this was the first Bernie Wrightson work ever done for Marvel. He did the cover. He also did the interior story. He also did the cover for number 8. And that would do it for Chamber of Darkness. I think Tower of Shadows lasted 9 issues, but this only lasted 8. And I think it was like almost a year later. They put out a giant size special, Chamber of Darkness. Basically, it was sort of a greatest hits, and but I think even some of that was just reprints from the Atlas stuff. And speaking of reprints, the series continued with issue number 9, but it switched titles to Monsters on the Prowl, and that ran until I think like issue number 30, and then all that was strictly reprints. And I think Marvel, sadly, kind of learned a bitter lesson there. And, a lot of their horror anthologies after that were basically just all reprints, like Where Monsters Dwell and Where Creatures Roam. And, well, of course, Fear, that started out as reprints, but then when it switched to Adventure into Fear, that was like original stories with the Man-Thing. And then, what was it, Morbius? Yeah, Morbius the Living Vampire. That sort of came in. And so, excuse me. Oh boy, that's bad glare. Ooh, sorry about that. So yeah, that will do it for this episode. Just a quick one to give you a full run of Chamber of Darkness. I also shot a comic run video, so hopefully we'll get that slapped together and released sooner than later. And in that one, that latest comic haul, I got the last few issues I needed for Tower of Shadows. So look for a full run on that too in the very near future. So until then, And until next time, this is WB Kelso for 4.0 and below, reminding you to never, ever be embarrassed about what you can afford comic book wise. And until next time, catch you later. Bye-bye.